Picture yourself by a campfire 30,000 years ago. The camp is eerily quiet. Earlier that day, hunters returned triumphant with enough meat for everyone, but as the sun sets, some of it disappears. This is the third occurrence this week. There's a known suspect, one man previously accused, around whom food seems to vanish and whom arguments shadow. Patience within the tribe is wearing thin tonight. No one sits with him, shares meals, or speaks when he's near. Even the children steer clear. For the first time, he appears uneasy, because this situation transcends a mere missing meal. The tribe is deliberating his fate. This raises a seldom considered question. What became of the worst member of a tribe? Not the physically strongest or the shrewdest, but the one known for deceit, theft, and mistrust. Today, we rely on police, courts, and prisons for justice. Yet, for the majority of our past, none of these existed. Nonetheless, human societies thrived, intriguingly so. Cooperation is fragile, and one selfish individual can unsettle an entire group. When someone became problematic, what exactly ensued was unexpected. The harshest penalty wasn't what was done to them, but what ceased to occur around them. To comprehend this, we must grasp how dependent ancient humans were on each other. A contemporary individual can manage solo for a significant period. Ancient individuals could not. A fracture could eliminate someone's hunting ability. A mere infection could turn lethal. Bad fortune could spell starvation. With aid, survival was tough, and without it, impossibly challenging. Prehistoric tribes were usually small, just a few dozen individuals. Everyone was aware of everyone else's identity and contributions. Diligence earned respect. Generosity fostered solid bonds, while deceit and stealing left indelible stains on reputation. No question of anonymity or fresh beginnings existed. One's reputation was a daily shadow. This posed a predicament: what to do with someone who eroded trust continually. An immediate answer might be punishment, but losing a member wasn't a decision without cost. Every adult was of initial value. Hunters provided sustenance, gatherers supplied resources, elders imparted wisdom accumulated across years. A person lost was also their contributions, not replaced. Here's where the story becomes intriguing. Anthropologists observing hunter-gatherer groups have noted an unexpected pattern. Many operate with minimal formal authority. A chief isn't always present, nor is there always an enforcer of rules. Yet, cooperation persists. Why is that? It's partly due to reputation and partly due to gossip. Gossip isn't trivial. It's a potent exchange of information. Who is trustworthy? Who shares? Who causes discord? In a group of 40, such information rapidly circulates. Beyond this, gossip serves another purpose. It helps individuals discern if they're not alone in seeing a problem. In leaderless societies, shared perceptions are crucial. The thief might think he's taking from one family, but he may unwittingly be estranging himself from the whole community. Envision our suspect at the fire. Threats are absent, no one attacks. Instead, social withdrawal occurs. Favors dwindle, invitations cease. Small acts of trust fade away. Initially, this seems minor. Eventually, they're not invited to hunts. Their views are no longer sought out. Ultimately, it becomes clear that their return doesn't bring joy. They're technically part of the tribe, yet socially drifting, and that was likely purposeful. Many scholars propose humans evolved in conditions where social bonds were life-critical. Losing such bonds could be perilous. This brings us to a curious contemplation. Why does shame exist? Why does embarrassment linger in our memories for so long? Why does your stomach knot over a split-second error? This reaction seems exaggerated until you see it through an ancient human's eyes. Some researchers argue emotions like shame are social alert systems. Physical pain stops you from touching fire, while social discomfort stops behaviors damaging group standing. Modern findings show social rejection activates the same brain areas as physical pain, signaling that something is genuinely wrong. Imagine losing the trust of the sole 40 people you know, along with shared food, protection, and allies. Suddenly, rejection morphs from a mild inconvenience to a survival threat, which historically it likely was. This could explain why tribes seldom required severe punishments. Humans inherently possess a crucial drive to maintain group harmony. Acceptance could be withdrawn with ease. At times, ridicule sufficed. Several hunter-gatherer tribes employed tactics to keep individuals humble. Say a hunter returned victorious with a massive kill. Instead of praise, jesting about the lack of impressiveness followed. This wasn't critique, but a strategy to ensure no one claimed supremacy over the group. People function more effectively when no one assumes they're superior to others. Furthermore, efforts to mend fractured relationships often preceded abandonment. Public discussions resolved disputes. Compensation was sometimes in order. The goal wasn't retribution, it was regaining cooperative synergy. However, some persisted in deceit, theft, and disruption. Then what? Many anticipate a dramatic resolution like execution or violence. While such outcomes occasionally transpired, anthropologist Christopher Boehm observed a significant trend within small groups. Regular troublemakers faced pressure, sarcasm, and alienation, but grave threats led to collective action. Not by a monarch or a police force, but because everyone perceived the same risk. In scant instances, the tyrant was unanimously ousted. On average, though, troublemakers face something quieter. Picture waking up to find trust dissolved. Hunting partners avert you. Trading becomes impossible. Families seek no ties with yours. Every relationship turns frigid. You aren't attacked or imprisoned, but slowly isolated, and isolation is hazardous. Even today, loneliness impacts both mental and physical health. Now imagine such solitude in a world teeming with predators, injuries, illness, and scarcity. Consequences grew more severe. One of the harshest repertoires in many small societies was exile, being asked to leave. While modern humans might find exile mild, you could always relocate. Ancient humans didn't share this luxury. Departure signified leaving behind a support system, food sharing, protection, care for illness or injury. It wasn't just leaving friends, it was severing a lifeline. Some anthropologists suggest exile was more feared than death. Death concludes immediately. Exile imposes solitary encounters with hardship, and humans never thrived in seclusion. Our species prospered through forming groups. Of course, intelligence, language, and tools were critical, but cooperation powered our survival. Individual vulnerability contrasted with group strength, generating a surprising twist. Tribes usually avoided instant expulsion of their worst members. Each adult embodied labor, know-how, and expertise, propelling tribes to prioritize relationship repair. This part of the human narrative shatters the barbaric and violent stereotypes often associated with ancient societies. Remarkably, many hunter-gatherer communities invested seriously in preserving group cohesion as survival depended on it. Returning to our accused thief by the fire, consider how this tale concludes. Perhaps the pressure catalyzes change. Perhaps he realizes every morsel stolen exacts a price more severe than nutrition. It undermines trust. Maybe the tribe pardons him, or perhaps not. Whatever unfolds, the genuine penalty began long before any conclusion. It started as soon as people quit seeing him as one of their own. This legacy of exclusion still resonates within us today. Countless generations later, humans dread exclusion, fear rejection, and yearn for belonging. This sensation might stem from an ancient world, a place where losing group support endangered survival. What they feared wasn't imprisonment, prisons undiscovered. It was the vast emptiness by the fire, the absent shared meals, halted conversations, and isolating realization. For millennia, humanity prevailed thanks to group affiliation. The most harrowing punishment wasn't pain, it was exclusion. For alone, in the void beyond the fire's glow, without allies, alone was perilous beyond measure.